Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Abdul Kadir and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the complete tutorial how to build modern pet website using HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. This project belongs to my Udemy course, which is modern HTML CSS project course. So if you are interested to download the source code, the course link in the description. So go ahead and check it out. So let me just show you the beautiful modern pet website that will make using HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. So in header we have a nice sticky navbar. When we scroll down, the navbar stick at the top. Then we have an intro section in which we have some heading and icons, and on the right side we have some nice picture. After that we have a pet food section. Then we have the about us section and the nice smooth scrolling effect, and on the about section we have nice picture of sleeping cat, and on the right side we have nice heading and text paragraph. Then we have an award winning section. After that we have the services section with some nice hover effect. Then we have the happy section. So after that we have the pricing plan section. So we will build this beautiful website. Then we have the nice our team section with some nice social icons. Then we have check-in time section, and when we click on book now we will move on the contact us section. So above we have the code section and the doc at different section. So we will build this beautiful website and lot of things will be covered. So we have a nice contact us form. So when we hover on the input field we have a nice shadow effect, and when we click on this the effect remains there. And after that we have a nice footer section in which we have some icons about us, some quick links and email newsletter. So we will build this website and the website is completely responsive. So let me just show you. The website looks on good on mobile devices, also on iPad devices, iPhone devices. So this is the complete overview of the project. So first of all you need to download the starter file. So after downloading the starter file you need to extract the folder. So extract here. After that delete the zip folder and open this folder in the code editor. So I am using VS Code editor, so I will open this folder in VS Code. So it will open. So we have the index.html file. So here the bootstrap link, the font awesome link, and the Google font that we will use in this project. After that we have the style.css, which is in the asset folder. So I have written the comment, and this is the title. Then we have project start, project and comment. Then we have some scripts and the bootstrap script, and we have main.js, which is in the asset folder. And in asset folder we have images folder. So we have images that we will use in this project, and this is the style.css. So just open the index.html, and now we need to open with live server. So it is empty right now. So here we will start our project. So first of all we will create the navbar, sticky navbar. So close this, and so now so first we will let me just zoom out. So now in header tag, let me give some navbar header. So then we have the nav tag. In nav tag we have a class, and give it some bootstrap classes, navbar, navbar dash expand dash lg fix dash top, and padding along y-axis is 3. After that we have some div and give it a class is equal to container. Then we have the anchor tag. So anchor tag pets href is equal to hashtag home, and now give it some classes. Class is equal to navbar dash brand text dash uppercase and font width bold, and my logo, which we will style later. To that we have span, give it class equal to logo dash color, we will style it later. Then we have a font awesome icon, which is FAS FA-PAW FA-2X. Then we have a button, type is equal to button, data dash toggle is equal to collapse, dash we have data dash target, nav for supported content, and area control for supported content. So we are using the bootstrap classes, area dash expand false, and area dash label is equal to toggle navigation. Give it class equal to navbar dash toggler, nav dash toggler dash right. So let me refresh this. So we have a icon and pet. Then we have FA dash bar, so it will give the icon for the toggle button. After that we need to create a div and give it id is equal to navbar supported content. Then give it class is equal to collapse navbar dash collapse, and a ul tag for the links. Now so we have the anchor tag first, which is the hashtag home, and we give it some classes. Then we have the my logo, we will style it later. Then we have the font awesome icon. Then we have the toggle button or collapsible toggle button. Then we have a div id is equal to navbar supported content, and ul class is equal to navbar margin left auto, and for the first link nav dash item active, and give it anchor tag inside this and home. So this is our first link. Now give it href is equal to hashtag home, and give it class is equal to nav dash link text dash uppercase font width bold. So then for the current, give it some class equal to sr dash only, and we have current. For the second link, so we will start it later. First we complete the HTML part. So this is for the second link, nav dash item. Then we have the anchor tag href hashtag about, and then give it some classes, nav dash link text dash uppercase about. After that we for this third link, which is give it a class equal to nav dash item. So we have three links, services. Let me just so we have a home link, about link, service link. So give it href hashtag services, and give it a class nav dash link text dash uppercase font width bold. Then for the fourth link, similarly we give it class, then we have the anchor tag and give it pricing and href hashtag pricing. Then we have a class equal to nav dash link text dash uppercase font width bold. And the fourth link is class equal to nav dash item anchor tag hashtag team, and similarly add the class nav dash link text dash uppercase and font width bold. We have the button book now button and give it a class margin left 2 btn dash empty btn dash primary dash outline d dash none, so d dash empty dash none, and give it id. So this button will hide on smaller screen because we add the classes d dash none. So now style. So first of all, target the body and give it overflow along x-axis is hidden, then width 100% and WebKit box sizing border box, so that it will look good on all browser. So box sizing border box font weight not to sans jp sans serif. After that HTML body header and then target the view class and write 100%. Then for the navbar logo color, which is let me scroll up. So this is logo color class, so target this and give it a color ed6436 and dot navbar, target the navbar class and transition of 0.4 second. Then for the link, navbar nav link RGB 1099 and now for the hover class, navbar nav link hover and focus. So color ed6436 and text decoration none. So when we over this, the color will be changed. After that, the navbar brand class and give it color RGB 10 9 and 9. So style the for the change the navbar styling on scroll. So when we scroll, the navbar will be stick, so that's why we need to add some classes. So .navbar.active class, we will use this later. So background ff, so background will be white and box shadow 1 pixel, 2 pixel, 10 pixel and RGBA. After that we have .navbar.active, .nav link, color RGB 10 9 and 9. Similarly for the hover and the focus, for the active, give it color ed6436 and text decoration none. .navbar active, .navbar brand, then we have color RGB 1099. And for the navbar styling on small viewport, so media maximum width 991.980 pixel and target the .navbar, background triple F, and navbar brand, navbar link, so color RGB. So our styling part is almost done, so let me just show you on smaller devices. Home, when we click on this, so the color will remain there. So now home, so this is body, and here we start the styling for the navbar, and here we change the styling on small viewport. Now this is the header, and we have the navbar, then we have a div class equal to container, then we have the anchor tag, after that we have a toggle button, then for the links we have UL tag. Now open the main.js and write the code for the navbar scroll. So when we scroll, it will stick on the top, and we will add the navbar class active, which we write in the style.css function. Then we have a window dot on scroll. Let me just have the space. Window dot scroll function. So if window dot scroll top greater than 10, then we need to add the class, which is the active dot navbar dot add class active, which is we write here navbar active, which is this one, navbar active. So navbar will be changed. We will add the navbar class which is active. After, if not, then we write the else condition, and we need to remove this class, which is active class. So now our navbar will stick on the top. When we add some more stuff, so you can see the effect. Right now it is not visible, so I think we need to style the book now button. So we need to style this book now button. So open the style.css, and here our button. So we need to close this, and we have add btn-md, btn-primary outline. So and we have id book now, so target this. So it is not displaying on smaller devices because we add the classes d-none on smaller and medium screen. It will, the book now button will not show. So let's style this book now button. So btn-primary class. So these classes will be used later, so that's why I am writing all the styling part here, because we will use it later in our project. So border radius 25 pixel, border top left radius 0 pixel, then we have a border none slash important, border color. So these classes we'll use later. Color stack triple F, then we have the transition all 0.5 second. So now hashtag of dot colon hover, So we will use all this later, so these are the part of the button, so that's why I'm writing first, so that we will use it later in our project. So WebKit transform, mustache transform scale 1.2 important, and transform scale 1.0 important. Then we have the index 2 and a btn-md, padding 1 RAM and 1.6, btn primary dash outline, and box shadow top right bottom left, and we have btn dash primary dash outline. So these are all we will use later. So let's write background transparent important, and we have font weight 700, that border radius 25 pixel, so it will look like this, and color stack 18 overflow hidden, border top left radius 0 pixel, and border none, so it will look like this, unimportant, and transition 0.5 second, and book now hover, which is this id book now. So add this hover, background dash color ed6436, color white important. So now when we hover on this, it will give you the nice effect. Then we have card, which we'll use later this class. So our navigation bar is ready now. It is sticky navbar. So when we add some stuff, you can see that the navbar will stick at the top. Style.css code right now, and then we have, this is the d-none, so that's why it is not display on button on smaller devices. So this button will not display. So yeah. So now after the nav tag, here we need to create some space, then create the intro section, write comment intro, then create a div, and give it a class is equal to view, which we styled in the previous video, and give it a id is equal to home. Then we have a div, give it a class is equal to row, padding top dash 5, margin top 4. Then we have 2 columns. Now we need to create 2 columns. First column, class equal to main1 col dash ld dash 5, and long medium it is 6, and the second div is 7 column, so 5 columns, then 7, total 12 column div. So this is the first column, and this is the second column, and this is the row. So now in the first column, give it h1 tag and give it a class main h, font width bold, padding bottom 3, pet training school. So this is the h1 heading. Then we have a text paragraph, margin bottom 4, and main p, which will start later, lorem ipsum, some dummy text. Then we need to create a row. So this is the first column called as -5, and inside this we need to create another div and give it a class equal to row and main color. So this is the first column, which is the 5-column div, and inside this we create an other row. Now we need to create 3 columns. First column is called -lg -4, and so d dash none, so it will not display on smaller and medium screen. So basically we have 3 divs, 4 column. So first column is, so, and this is 0, see, and this is inside the call dash ld dash 5. So now create another div inside the first column, which is call dash md dash 4, and give it a class equal to media, and class is equal to margin right dash 3. Span is equal to class text dash gray, and the font to some icon, which is FA dash apple, FA, and the size is FA dash 2 times. So it will look like this. So the icon will not display on smaller or medium screen because we add the class. Let me just click the screen again. Okay, now create another div after that, and give it a class equal to media dash body. So we add these classes, so that's why it will not display on smaller screen, but on larger screen it will display. So let me just click the screen. Now give it heading eat, and give it a class font weight bold and padding top 1. Similarly for the second div, so this is the second column, which is called -m-4. This is the first column, and this will start here and end here. So the first column, which is this one. Similarly we need to create 2 ones, which is this one. So this is the second column. We create a div inside that and give it a class is equal to media. Similarly, to create a class margin right dash 3 span, give it a class equal to text dash danger, and for the icon FA dash horn and FA. After that we need to create another div and give it a class equal to media dash body, and give it a heading play and font weight port. So this is our second column, and this is our third column. Similarly create div and give it a class equal to media, then create another div inside this and give it a class equal to margin right dash 3 span tag. After that give it a class equal text dash info. Then we have the font to some icon, which is FA dash GitHub, and the size is FA dash 2 times. For that with a class equal to media body, and heading 4, which is brush, and so let me refresh. So we have 3 columns: first, third, second, and first column. I think we need font weight bold missing, so this is the first row, and inside, this is inside the first column. It's 5-column div, and we need to, this is the main dash LG. We need to add the font width bold class in the third column, which is gap in there. We need to add the font width bold and padding top dash 1. Now we need to create another row after the first row. So this is the first row. Now we need to create another row. This is the first row and this is the second row, and these two rows are in the 5-column div. Okay, and now create the 12-column div, and give it so this is the row, and we need to give it a class called -100-12, and we have the anchor tag view more. So view more button and give it a class equal to btn. So we styled this in the previous videos, so now we can use it here easily. So it will look like this now. So we already wrote the code in the previous video, which is this button, and hove, all this we write in the previous video, so that's why we don't need to write here. Now create another, first href hashtag about, then create another book now, and give it a class equal to btn-md, btn-primary-outline, and give it a id is equal to book now, btn-primary-outline, which is btn-primary, and btn-md. So we already wrote this in the previous video. So now our picture is missing. First write the href hashtag contact. So this is the 12-column div, and this will end here. Then this is inside the row, which is the second row, and this is the first row. And first row we have 3 columns, 4 by 4, 3 column. So this is first, second, third column. Then we have the second row, we have 2 buttons. So this is the first row, second row. Then we have the 5-column div, and which is this one. Now we have the main row, and then we have the 7-column div. Now we need to create the img tag and give it img1, and source asset slash, which is in our asset folder. Write the path and give it a class img-float and give it some sample image. So let's just look in our browser. So we need to rotate this picture along x-axis, so we'll start it later. So, and we need some padding also. So intro section part is this, and it will end here. We have the first row, then we have 5-column div, then 7-column div, and inside the 7-column div we have a picture, and inside the first column div we have the heading, then we have a paragraph. After that we have 2 rows, first row, second row. This is the heading, first row, then this is the second row where we have 2 buttons. So the first row we have 4 column, 4 column, 4 column, 3, 4 column div, then In the second row we have icon and some text, and in the second row we have 12 column div where we have two buttons. So 3D column, then we have two buttons. Now we need to rotate this picture first, so let's go into the style.css and scroll down, and here we need to write our code, which is main. First of all, we need to target the image, and we already give it the id img1, which is this id img1. So we need to rotate this picture along x-axis, so let transform scale x and give it -1. So our picture is rotate now, and it will look like this. Now we need to add some padding here. Main edge, which is the main edge, let me just show you the main edge, which is this one, main edge. So dot main edge and give it color 1818. Then we have a main p, which is this one, main p. Now to line dash height 1.5, then letter spacing 1 pixel. After that we have a color 18, then font style normal, and 14 font size is 16.2 pixel. Then we have opacity 0.8. After that dot main color 1818. Now you can see that the navbar stick at the top. So we write all the navbar code in the previous video. So now you can see the effect on the sticky navbar effect. So now we need to write the larger screen, some media queries, so that we need some space, and do this in the center. So for the larger screen, write the media query first. So now you can see media minimum width 1025 pixel. Dot my logo and font size 25.6 pixel. After that dot main one, so padding left 5%, which is main one, this one, and we have main h, give it a font size 65 pixel and padding to 15%. Main h is this one, main h, and main h2. So I think we need to write all the media queries first, so we don't need to write it later, so we will use it later. So first we will write all the media queries so that we don't need to write it later. So these classes will be used later, so that's why I'm writing this. Main h3, font size 57 pixel, and dot premium, which we will also use later, font size 57 pixel, color 0b1b3f. Then we have the code p class, font size 25 pixel and color 1818, font weight 600. Then we have this last, which is the service H, font size 58 pixel. So all these classes we will use later. So now it will look good on larger screen, but on iPad we also need some media queries. So let's first write all the media queries, so we don't need to write it later. First of all, for the iPad screen, write the media query only screen, and minimum device width is 768, and maximum device width is 1024 pixel. Webkit pixel ratio 2. HTML body header dot view, and view, which is this class, and give it a height 75%. Main one, and a padding left 5%. So now it looks good. And for the main H, that's font padding to 5%, and the font size 40 pixel. Yep, now it looks good. Now for the iPad Pro screen. So for the iPad Pro screen, 024 pixel minimum device width, and the maximum device width is 1366 pixel, and WebKit minimum device pixel ratio 2. Target the main one class, padding left 5%. Then we have the main H class, and padding to 15%, font size 50 pixel. So all the media queries is done now. I think the mobile media query, so let's write the media query for mobile devices. We will use it later, so we write all the media queries first, so we don't need to write it later. So for the last, this is the maximum device for 600 pixel dot mob dash pad class, which we will use later, and padding top 70 pixel. So our intersection part is ready. So this is the largest screen code, and this is the iPhone device media query, this is the iPad, and this is for the iPad Pro media query. And above we left pricing table, we will style it later in this. So, and this is the intersection part. So let me just close this. So in header we have the navbar, sticky navbar, and when we scroll down, the navbar stick on the top. When we click on the links, it will stay there. And intersection we have some nice button and image. So now we need to create the main tag. So after the header tag, let add the main tag, then add the class mob-pad, and let me open the screen. So now we will, on the right side you will see the output. So create a div and give it a class equal to container and p-5. Then after this, create a section inside this div section, and give it a class dark gray text, and in this section create a row. So create a div and give it a class is equal to row, and then we need to create the column. So create a div and class is equal to col dash lg dash 6, so it's a 6 column div. Then we will add h2 heading, then give it classes and add some text: premium pet food manufacturer. So it will look like this. And after the heading, let me create some space. We need to create another column row. So mob dash 3 and give it a div and give it a class equal to col dash lg dash 6. Inside this we need to create another row and give it a column. Div class is equal to col dash 2 p padding right dash 5. Then we have an icon fa dash shield, so it will look like this. And after this column we need to create another column. So div and give it a class is equal to col dash xl dash 9, col dash nv dash 9. Then we have the h5, give it a class onward port and exceptional quality. So we need to create 3 more icons. So this is a 2 column and this is 10 column. So and this is inside the row and this is inside the 6 column div. So after the column end, let me just check there. So the column will end here. Now we need to create another column. Div class equal to col dash lg dash 6 and give it grid row, similarly that we done before, and row. Then we need to create a 2 column div and give it a class equal to col dash 2 and padding at 5. Then we have the icon fa dash user dash circle. Then we have a 10 column div and we have the h5 heading made by experts. So this column will end here. Now after this column we need to above, yep, this is the row end. So we have 6 column div and this is inside the row, and this is the 6 column div and this is the section. So this is the row. Now we need to create another row. Let me just confirm it. So yep, we need to create another row above and div class equal to row, color style is equal to color, and then we have create another div inside this and give it a 6 column div. Then inside this 6 column div we have a row, then we have the 2 column div. So div and give it a class is equal to col dash 2 and padding at 5. Then we have the icon, so it will look like this. Now below the 2 column div we need to create the 10 column div, class equal to col dash xl dash 9. Then we have heading h5. So this row will end here and this column. Now we need to create another 6 column div, col dash lg dash 6, and inside this we have a row similarly. Then we need to create a 2 column div, class equal to col dash 2. Then we have the font awesome icon, and after this 2 column div we need to create another column. So class equal to col dash, similarly for the heading, so optimal temperature. So this side is done. Now we need to add the picture. So this will end here and this row will end here, and this is the 6 column div, right? And we need to create another 6 column div for the picture. So create a div and give it a class equal to col dash lg dash 6. Then image tag image dash float, give it a class and add the source and simple picture. So our premium food, fat food section is done now. Now this will end here and this section end here. So this is the pet food section, and we have a row, then we have a 6-column div, and we have 6-column div, 6 column for the image, then we have 6 column for the headings and icons. We have 2 rows, so in each row we have 6 column div, and inside this we have a row, and we have icon and some text. So this is the pet food section. Now below this we need to create the activities and exercise section. So then give it a div and give it a class is equal to row, margin bottom 5, padding top 5 and padding bottom 5, and give it id is equal to about. Then we need to create a div, and this is the 7-column div. We need to add picture here, image id is equal to image1, and give it a source. So let me refresh the page. Now we need to give it a class equal to image dashboard, so it will look nice. Then after the sample image for, so the 7-column div, now we need to create the 5-column div, and margin top 5, text as center. Then we have the heading, activities, and in span we give it logo colors, so it will give the orange color like activities and exercise. So it will look like this now. Now after the heading we need to create p tag and give it a class equal to margin bottom 4, margin top dash 3, and give it a color. Then some the lorem with some text, some dummy text. So after the paragraph we create another div and give it a class is equal to row, and create a column. Div class is equal to col-md-12, and inside this we have anchor tag and give it a class btn-md primary, and give it a id is equal to home. Then view more, similarly for the another button, and give it a book now. So we have 2 buttons. So now activities and exercise section. So this is, we'll start from, there is mistake, so add colon. So our activities and exercise section is also done. We have 7-column div where we have picture, then we have the 5-column div where we have heading and some text, then we have row where we have 2 buttons. So after the activities and exercise section we need to create the award winning section. So let's add the comment, so award winning, and after this we need to create a div and give it a class is equal to my-5 and padding along y-axis 5. Then style is equal to background f2 f2 f4, and inside this div we need to create another div and give it a class is equal to container. After that we need to create another div inside the container and give it a class is equal to row, justify dash content center. Then after this div we need to create another div and give it a class is equal to col-md-12. so it's a 12-column div, and inside this we have a heading and give it a class font weight bold, main -3, text dash center, display dash 7, padding bottom 2, and logo color. So let me refresh the page. So it will look like this, and after the heading we need to create a paragraph p and give it a class is equal to margin bottom 4 and margin top 3, and padding along x-axis is 4, text dash center. Then we have a style color 1818, then we have a dummy text. So this is the 12-column div. After the 12-column div we need to create another div and give it a class is equal to col dash md dash 4. So this is a 4-column div, and on large screen it is 3-column div. We also add the class card. So we have heading and paragraph on the above 12-column div, and after that we have a 3-column div for the large screen devices. So give it a style, background f2, f2, f4, border none, and then we have a width 180 pixel and margin auto. Then we have image. So we will add 3 images. So this is the image 1, and after this div we need to create another div and give it a class equal to col dash md dash 4, col dash lg dash 3, and we have style background, then border none, width 180 pixel, margin auto. Then we have our second picture, which is assets slash images slash 2.png. So this div end here, and after this div we need to create another div and create the 4-column div for medium screen and 3-column div for the larger screen. So this is again style background f2, f2, f4, border none, and we have our third image assets slash images slash 3.png. So our award winning section is done now. So our award winning section has 3 pictures, and above we have heading. This is the 12-column div. We have a heading and some paragraph, right? So this is inside the container, and this inside the. So our award winning section is done now. So after that we need to create the services. So write the services comment, then we have create a div and give it a class. Give it a class equal to container, margin along y-axis is 5 and padding along y-axis is 5, and give it a id is equal to services. And after that we have section block content. Let me write the comment. Section block content, we have a section and give it a class is equal to padding top 5, and let me add some space. Then after that we have a h2 heading and give it a class font weight bold, text dash center, and marginal bottom 5, padding bottom 5. Then we have service h. So all the service h styling we have done in style.css, so that's what we are using here. So our services, and after the h2 tag we need to create a row, grid row, and we will create a div and give it a class is equal to row, and inside this we need to create the column. So let me add some space and write the comment grid column and grid column. So div and give it a class is equal to col dash lg dash 3, and on medium screen we have 6, so margin bottom 4, and then we have our card. So we will add 4 cards. So this is our first card, and so with a class is equal to card and padding along all sides is 4, and give it a id is equal to hover. So when we hover on the card it will appear on the screen and it will translate. So background dash color style and FED 9BD. Then we have a border radius 25 pixel. After that we have a div and give it a class equal to text dash center. Then we have a font awesome icon FAS FA dash home FA dash 3x, so our font icon will be larger. Then after this div we need to create a div and give it a class equal to car dash body and text dash center. Then we have the h4 heading and give it a class equal to font weight bold. Then we have style and pet supporting. So after the h4 tag, we have a paragraph. Class text dash left and mb dash lg dash 0. Then we have some dummy text, and after we need to add a button. So this is anchor tag, and give it a class is equal to btn dash md btn dash primary dash outline, and give it a class id is equal to book now, href hashtag content, and book now. So this is our first card. Now we need to create 3 more card. So this is inside the card body, and this is our first card, and this is our first 3 column div. Now we need to create 3 more. So let me add some space and give it a grid column and create a div and give it a class equal to code dash lg dash 3 and code dash md dash 6 margin bottom 4. Then we have our card. Inside this we give it a class is equal to card and padding along outside is 4. Then we have id is equal to home, then style is equal to background color, hashtag CDEABA, border radius 25 pixel, then we have a border 2 pixel solid, and color CDEABA. Then we have a div where we have the font awesome icon, and after this div we have a card body where we have the heading h4 with a class font width bold, margin bottom 4, and style font size 20 pixel. Then we have color, and after that we have font width. After the heading we will get a paragraph, give it a color, some dummy text, and this is the anchor tag. So id is equal to book now and href hashtag contact and book now. So 2 cards are done now. So this is card body and this is card, and this is inside the 3 column div. So first, second, now for the third one, create column, create a div and give it a class is equal to code dash lg dash 3 similarly. Then we have a card, create a div and give it a class is equal to card p dash 4, the id is equal to home. Then we have a style is equal to background color, then border radius, and inside this div we will create another div and give it a class equal to x dash center as we done above. And inside this we have a font awesome icon, fa dash chest dash night, and this size will be fa dash 3x. Logo color will give you the orange effect. After this we have a div and give it a class equal to card body. Then we have a h4. After that we have a paragraph, give it a class equal to text dash left, margin bottom dash lg dash 0. Then after we have button, book now button, href hashtag content, and book now. So our 3 cards are ready now. So this is card and this is 3 column div. So 3, 6, 9, 3 column left. So let's create for the last one, grid column, and this is 3 columns, so total will be 12 column. And inside this similarly we will create a card and create a div and give it a class is equal to card p dash 4 and id is equal to hope. Then we have a style per background color a double f0 f6. Similarly we will create a div and give it a class equal to text dash center. Then we have a font awesome icon fab fa dash github and fa dash 3x. After that we have a card body, give it a class equal to card dash body, then text dash center. Then we have a h4 font weight bold, margin bottom 4. Then we have style font size 20. pixel color 1818 and font weight 800. Then we have our paragraph, give it a class equal text dash left, margin bottom dash lg dash 0. Then we have a style and some dummy text. And this is our last book now button, btn btn dash md btn dash primary dash outline class and book now. So I think our service section is done now. Let me refresh the page. So let's scroll down. So this is our award winning section. Then we have our services section. So we have 3 column div, then we have 3 column 3, total 12 column, and this is inside the row. And then we have h2, then this is inside the section, and this is inside the container. So let me larger the screen. So our service section, and when we hover on this, it will appear and give you this effect. So we have pet food section and activities and exercise section. Then we have so after the service we will create the happy section. So let me add some space and give it a comment happy section, then create a div and give it a class is equal to row, and inside this we will create a div and give it a class is equal to mean1 col dash lg dash 5 col dash md dash 6, margin bottom 5 and margin top and medium 0. Then we have margin top 5, text dash center, then text dash md dash left. Then we have the h1 tag and give it a class equal to main h and font weight bold, padding bottom 3 we can keep. Then we have our span and give it a class equal to logo color, and we can keep, so it will look like this, we can keep them happy. So after the h1 tag we will our grid row and here. So after the h1 tag we have a paragraph and give it a class equal to margin bottom 4, margin top 3 and main p, and then we have dummy text. So this one here and give it, then after the paragraph we will create a div and create a row. So this is our 5 column div and this is row which is inside the 5 column div. So let's create a grid column and create a div and give it a class equal to col dash md dash 12. Then we have anchor tag, class btn btn dash md btn dash primary margin right 4. Then we have id is equal to hove and href hashtag pricing. Then we have view more. After that we will create another anchor tag and give it a class btn dash md btn dash primary dash outline and id is equal to book now, href hashtag contact and book now. So it will look like this, and this is a 12 column div and it is inside the row. So and then we have a paragraph, then we have h1 tag and this is inside the 5 column div, right? And this is inside the row. Now we need to create the 7 column div. So create a div and give it a class is equal to col dash lg dash 7, the goes above is 5. Then we have our image, give it id is equal to image1 and source is equal to asset/images slash doc.png. So let me give it a class so it will appear good, image dash load. So now it will look good. So and give it a alt sample image. So our happy section is almost done now. Our award winning. So now we will create our pricing table. So let write the command pricing, then after this create a div and give it a class equal to demo and padding top dash 5 and id is equal to pricing. Then we will create a div inside this and give it class equal to container padding top dash 5. After this we will h2 heading and give it a class font with bold text at center margin bottom dash 5 service h and style is equal to color 5818 our pricing plan. After this we will create a div and give it a class equal to row, and then we will create a div and give it a 4 column div, and inside this we have a div class equal to pricing table, and inside this create a div let me add some space and give it a div, and the class is equal to pricing table dash header, and then we have the h3 and give it a class equal to title. So inside this we have a photo some icon fa dash github. Then we have a 1 day. After this div create a div and give it a class equal to pricing dash value 50.99. We'll start it later, and after this we will create a div and give it a class equal to pricing dash content. Let's create a space, and then we have a UL tag. Inside this we have list double rooms social life, then we have a brush, and then we have pet TV and give it a class equal to disable, and we will style it later. After the UL tag we have a div and give it a class equal to text dash center, so it will center our content, and that we have anchor tag, give it a class equal to margin left dash 2 btn dash md btn dash primary id is equal to hove, and then we have href hashtag content book now. So this is our first card, so it will start from here. Now this 4 column div we will create 2 more, so let's copy this one and paste it here. So this is our second, then we will close. So 4 for 8 column, then we have last 12, paste it here. So 4 8 12. So open the second one and add the class pricing table orange and change the 10 day. Then we have a $350. Then we will change the list, I think. Yep, we'll change the list. So single room socialize exercise custom is sp and grooming. So this is our second, and it will end here. So close this and open the third one. Then we will add the purple class. So inside this class equal to pricing table and add p or pla purple class and change the list obviously. So before we will add $550 and change the list. So single room exercise 2 times, so it will end here. So now we need to style it. So we need to style it here, pricing table. So let's style this. So inside the pricing table, let's add some space and target the pricing table class. Give it a background hash triple f. Then we have a font family Roboto, then sans serif, and add some padding 40 pixel 30 pixel and 0 margin 0 10 pixel. Then we have a box shadow, so it will look like this, and let me yeah, now screen is good. So box shadow, and after this we have a border radius 0, 70 pixel, and we have 0, 0. Then target the pricing table header class. Then we have padding 0, 0, 15 pixel, and then we have margin 0, 0, 20 pixel. Then we have border bottom 1 pixel solid, and color is hashtag 01CAD2. Then we target the pricing table. Now title class with color, and the font size is 30 pixel, font weight 300. Then we have a letter spacing 1 pixel, text transform uppercase, so it will transform our text. And after this we have margin 0. Now target the icon, so margin right 5 pixel. Then we have display inline block, and we will target the pricing value, so let's give it a color 01CAD2. Then we have font size 100 pixel. Then we have a font weight 700. We have a line height 100 pixel, and letter spacing -3 pixel. Then we have text align center. After that, give it a margin. Then pricing value SUP, which is 99, so it will target font size 50 pixel, letter spacing normal. Then we have vertical line middle. After this, pricing content, give it a background linear gradient to right bottom, and hashtag 00CAD4. Then we have text align center. We have a padding 40 pixel and 0. Then we have a margin. After that, give it a border radius 60 pixel 0, 0, 0. After that, we have target the UL, the text line left, and give it a padding 0, 0, 25, and margin 0, 0, 40 pixel. Then we have a list style none, and we have border bottom 1 pixel solid, hashtag triple F, and displays inline block. So pricing UL, then we target the LI, so give it a class color is equal to hashtag triple F, and font size 18 pixel. Then we have a font weight 300, and padding top right bottom left 0, 0, 0, 30 pixel, margin 0, 0, 15 pixel. Then we have a position relative. After that, we have pricing table content UL, which is the last child, so margin 0. After that, LI before, and content. Then we have a font family. After that, we have a font size 16 pixel, font weight 900. Then we have a position absolute, top 1 pixel, and from left side is 0. Content disabled before, so let's content, and last child, which is margin bottom 0. Something missing. Now we need to target the anchor tag, give it a color hashtag triple F, font size 25 pixel, and font weight 300. Then we have a text transform uppercase, letter spacing 1 pixel. Then we have width 150 pixel, and padding 0, auto border 2 pixel solid. Then we have a border radius 50 pixel, and give it a display is equal to block transition all 0.5 second ease. And then we have a pricing table hover, give it a text shadow, and we have a book shadow, and give it a RGBA. Then for the second one is the orange, so we give it a class orange. Then change the border bottom color, so it will we need to change the content also, I think so. Dot title dot orange dot value, and let's give it a color hashtag ft9976, so it will change the title and the value. Then we have the pricing content, give it a background linear gradient to right bottom FEA A980 FF6A88. And the third one is the purple, similarly with border bottom color hashtag FF72FC. Then we will also change the title and the value, so give it a color FF72FC. And for the last one is the change the background for the content background linear dash gradient to right bottom hashtag DC55D6. And the last one is the media queries, so it will look good. So target the pricing table and give it a margin bottom 40 pixel. So our pricing table section is also done now. So we write all the CSS, so let's start from there. So let's close this, and after the pricing, so let's open this. So it looks good now. We have a book now button, we have check and cross icon, also fun day, and above we have the happy section. So our website looks good and it is also clean and modern. And when we hover this, so it will nice effect. And we have a happy section, then we have pricing. So after the pricing, we'll now create the teach your pet section. So after this, we will create a div and give it a class equal to row, padding to 5 and margin to 4. Then inside this div, we will create a div and give it a class is equal to col-lg-7 and col-md-4. Then we have the image source all dog.png and give it a class equal to image float and our sample image. So let me open this screen, and after this we have div and create a div and give it a class is equal to col-lg-5. Then we have col-md-6. So now the screen will open and it will look like this. Then we have the h1 tag, give it a class equal to main h2, font weight bold, padding bottom 3. Then we have a paragraph, class margin bottom 2 and font size 20 pixels, just a phone call. After this we have another paragraph and some dummy text. And after this paragraph we will create a div and give it a class is equal to row. Then we have a grid column, create a div and give it a class is equal to col-lg-12 and padding along x-axis is 5. Then we have another grid row. Inside this create a div and give it a class is equal to row and margin bottom 3. Then inside this we will have another column and create a div and give it a class is equal to col-1, and this is inside the icon, font of some icon. Then after the first, when we have create another column and clo-10, then there we have a paragraph. So this is inside the row. So let's add the second row. So create a div and give it a class equal to row margin bottom dash 3 like we did above. Then we have a grid column col-1 where we have the check icon. Then after this div we have create a 10 column div and where we have paragraph and this and here. So this is for the third one, grid row, create a div and give it a class equal to row margin bottom dash 3. Then we have a grid column. So this is one column div for the icon, check icon. Then let me refresh. Then after this we have 10 column div, create a div and give it a class equal to col dash xl dash 10. We have a paragraph, some dummy text. So this end here, so this inside the row, and this inside the 5 column div. Then we have a row teach your pet. So our teach your pet section is also done now. So after the teach your pet section, let's write the comment our team, then create a div and give it a class is equal to container margin top dash 3 and padding along y-axis is 5. Then we have the dash tab dash 1 and give it a id is equal to team. Then we add some space here. Then we have a section content, so I write the comment. So we need to create a section tag and give it a class equal to text at center dark gray text, and we have a padding top dash 5. After that we have a h1 tag and give it a class font width bold and our team. So it will look like this now. So let me add just space here. Then we have a grid row, create a div and give it a class is equal to row padding top dash 5. Then inside this we will create a column, grid column, create a div and give it a class is equal to col dash md dash 4. So we will create 4 column and 4 column divs, so total 3 columns. So inside this we have a div and give it a class is equal to w-200 and margin along x-axis auto and margin bottom 4. We have an image source asset/images slash team1.jpg. Then we have image float and put a alt sample image, so it will look like this now. So after this we have a h6 heading and give it a class font width bold and at least here then we have small tag and give it a class is equal to text dash muted co-founder and CEO. After this we have the paragraph, give it a class margin top dash 3 margin bottom 4 and some dummy text. And we have the social icons. Yep, we will create. So ul tag, give it a class is equal to h dash unstyle d dash flex justify dash content and center margin top dash 3. Then we have a list, and inside it we have a font awesome icon which is for the Twitter. Then we have the class equal to fa dash Facebook text dash primary, so it will give you the blue color for the Facebook. Then we have the third one for the Instagram and logo color, so it will give you the orange effect, I think. Then for the last one is for the LinkedIn. Yep, fa dash LinkedIn. So this is our first 4 column div and ul tag. Then we have 4 column div and it is inside the row. So let's copy this and paste 2 times. So this is for the first time, and change the image also. We change the image here asset/2.jpg, then change the text, and similarly the same procedure that's above, that's why I copy this. So change the text here and the icon is same. then paste it one more time and change the image 3.jpg and change the text if you want. So our team section is also done now. We have S6 and we change the image here, right? So our team section is also done. So let's close this. 4, 8 and 12, and this is inside the row. And our team, let me just start this. We have some issue for the width, dot 200 and give it a width for 200 pixel. So not so good. So after the our team section, we will create the check-in time. So write the check-in time command, then we create a div and give it a class is equal to row. Let me add some space. Then after that we will create a div and give it a class is equal to main1 _lg-5 margin bottom 5. Then we have the h1 tag and check-in time and give it a class main h font width bold and padding bottom -3. So let me refresh this. Then after the h1 tag we will create another row. So this is inside the 5 column div, right? So give it a class is equal to row margin bottom -3 padding top -3. This is div and let's create div and give it a class 12 column div. So this is the 12 column div, and inside this we will create another class equal to row. So inside the 12 column div we will create another row, and inside this we have a column first for the icon. So give it a class equal to col-2, and this is the font to some icon. Give it a class is equal to FAS, FA-cloak, FA-3x and text-success. So it will give you the green color. So it will end here for 2 column. Now we need to create another column for the text. So grid column and create a div and give it a class is equal to col-xl-9 col-mv-10. Then after this, inside this we have a h3 tag and give it a class font width bold margin bottom 3 logo color from 8 to 10 a.m. text. Then we have a paragraph, some dummy text. So this column and here and this row and here. So and this is 12 column div. So after this 12 column div we will create another 12 column div similarly the above for the above. So this and here and this inside the row, right? So let me add some space and create another row div and give it a class equal to row margin bottom 3. Then we have column for the icon, then for the text. So first column is for the icon and give class equal to col-2 and give it we have a font of some icon FAB, FA-C and TOS and FA-4X text-success. Then after this is the first column and this is the second column for the heading and paragraph. Create a div and give it a class equal to col-xl-9 col-md-10, and inside this we have a h3 tag and give it a class font width bold margin bottom 3 logo color favorite twice text is. Then we have the dummy text. So this column and here and this row and here and these two 12 column div and it is then we have so this row and here. Let me check. Then we will create an other row. So let's create the row div. So this row and here. So let's add some space here and give it a class is equal to row and grid column create a div and give it a class is equal to call dash md dash 12 for the buttons. We need to add buttons here. So this is our first button, btn dash md btn dash primary margin right 4, and id is equal to hov href hashtag content, and the text is view more. So after this, similarly we need to add the second button, give it a class btn dash md btn dash primary dash outline, id is equal to book now. Then we have the href hashtag contact and book now. So this the 12 column div, and this is inside the row. This is for second row, and this is first row. Then we have a heading, and this is inside the 5 column div, right? Then we need to create a 7 column div for the image. So create a div and give it a class is equal to call dash lg dash 7. Then we have call dash md dash 6. Inside this we have image source either slash images slash white dog dog png. So let's add the class so it will look good. Create a class equal to image dash float, and let's write l equal to sampling. So our check-in time section is also done now, and I think 70 to 85% website is completed, only 30% left. So now we will create the dog and cat section. So write the command dog and cat, and after this we will create a div and give it a class is equal to container margin bottom dash 5. Then we have a div. So this is its row. The give it a class equal to row padding top dash 5. Then we have margin top dash 4, and inside this row we will create another div and give it a class is equal to call dash lg dash 6. Then we have call dash md dash 6, margin bottom 5, margin top dash md dash 0. Then we have margin top dash 5, text dash center, and text dash md dash left. After that we have a h1 tag, and we have a class and write the text dogs. So after this h1 tag, create a div and give it a class equal to row. So then we have a grid column, so give it a class is equal to call dash lg dash 12. Let me add some space here. Then we have another row inside this 12 column div and give it a class is equal to row margin bottom dash 3. Then we have a grid column, create a div and give it a class is equal to call dash 1. And then we have the font awesome icon, give it a class equal to fa dash check text text success. So it will look like this now. So then we have the this column, and here let's close this and create another div and give it a class equal to call dash xl dash 10 call dash mv dash 11. Then we have call dash 10. Then we have a paragraph, create dash text. Then we have some dummy text here. So this column and here, and this column and here, and it is inside the row. So let's copy this and paste it here. So change the text here, dummy text here, and similarly we will paste one more time. So this is actually the same, that's why I've copied and pasted here. You just need to change the text if you want. So we have 4, and then we have the last one, paste it here. So 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the dog section, and this is inside the 12 column div and 6 column div, right? So let's copy this and the same for the cat section, paste it here and just change the h1 tag which is cats and you can change the text below. So dogs and cats section is also done now, so let's close this. So after the dog and cat section, we need to create the code section. So let's write the code comment, then create a div and give it some class row padding top dash 5, margin top dash 4. Then inside this create another div and give it a class equal to code dash lg dash 7, code dash md dash 6. And then we add the image slash baby dash animal dot png. Let me add the class so it will look good. Alt sample image. So it's a basic 7 column div and we have a picture inside there. Then we need to create another div and give it a class equal to code dash lg dash 5. Then we have code dash md dash 6, margin bottom 5, and the text at center. Inside this div create the h1 tag and give it a class equal to main h, font weight bold, padding bottom dash 3, and the icon h fas fa dash code dash left and logo color. So it will look like this now. And after the h1, so it will end here. And after the h1 tag, we need to create a paragraph tag and give it a class power margin bottom 4, margin top dash 3, and give it a class code p. And let me add some dummy text here. So after the paragraph, so this end here, let me add some space here. Then create another paragraph tag and give it a class margin bottom dash 2, margin top dash 3, and give it logo color. Then style font size 20 pixel and Bobby James. So it will look like this now. So this paragraph and here we have h1 tag. So after this is another paragraph and give it a style font size 20 pixel and hamster. So I think our code section is also done. So this is paragraph and we have h1. This have a 5 column div here. So then we have this inside the row. So our code section is also done now. We need to create the contact us form and the footer. So now we will create the contact us section. So create a div and give it a class is equal to row, margin top dash 5, and id is equal to contact. Then create a div and give it a class main1 call dash lg dash 5. So basically it's a 5 column div, and inside this we create another div and give it a class equal to card, padding along all sides is 5. Then we have a background and border radius. After that we have a paragraph and some class and style, planning or training. So it will look like this now. And inside this we will create the h1, give it a class is equal to font with bold, main h3, and the text is contact us. So let me refresh this. So it will look like this now. And after this we will create a form tag and give it a inside this and give it a class is equal to row. Let me add some space here. Then we will create another div and give it a class equal to col dash lg dash 12 and padding along y-axis is 3. And inside this we have an input tag and type is equal to text. So it will look like this now. So let's required, so it will required and give it a class form dash control and padding along y-axis is 4, and give it a placeholder name. So it's a name. Then after the 12 column div, let's close this, create another div and give it a class is equal to col dash lg dash 12 and padding along y-axis is 3. Then inside this we have an input and type is equal to email, and it is also the required field, and give it a class equal to form dash control and placeholder email. So we'll style it later. So let's add the third one, which is the last one for the message. So close this and give it a class equal to call dash lg dash 12 and the padding along y-axis 3. Then we have the text area. So let me scroll down. This contact us form, check-in time, document. So this is here. Now give it a class is equal to form dash control, and it is also required, and give it a style border radius 20 pixel, and give it a row. Placeholder is message, and we need to also add the row here. So let's rows is equal to 5. Then so after this we will create a div and give it a class equal to text dash left and padding left dash 4 and padding top dash 2. Let me refresh this. So now we need to add the button here and give it a class is equal to btn dash md, btn dash primary, margin right 4 and padding along x-axis is 5. Then we have style font size 20 pixel and type is equal to submit, and give it a id is equal to host and href here, so it will not move, so it will not detect the page. So after this, so contact us form is ready. Now we need to add the picture image here. So this is inside the 5-column div. Now we need to create the 7-column div for the image as we done before. So create a div and give it a class called dash lg dash 7, and for the medium device it is 6-column, and image source is equal to either slash images slash cat.png. Let me give it a class so it will look good, and image dash float, give it an alt equal to sample image. So HTML part is done. Now let me refresh this. So now we need to style the form. So let's close this, and this is 7-column div and set the row. So let's open the style.css and close this. So we need to write our style.css code here. So let's target the input field, and first target the class, which is, let me add some space here. So target the form dash control class and give it a padding border and the background color white. Then we have a border color f2 f2 f4. Then we have color, then we have transition 0.4 second, box shadow none, then we have outline none, and border radius 15 pixel. After this, let's target the focus. So when we click on the input field, so give it an outline none and border 1 pixel solid. Then we have a box shadow. After that we have an outline, then give it a border color. So now when we click on this, it will give you this effect. Now similarly for the text area, so let's add the same thing for here, outline, border, then we have border box shadow. After that give it outline, then we have a border color, so it will alter this. Now we need to add the hover effect, so we want the same effect for the hover. So input colon hover, give it an outline, then we have a border, and similarly for the box shadow. After that we have outline, then we have border color. So similarly for the text area, outline none, border 1 pixel solid, color is AD6436, then we have the box shadow. After that we have an outline, then we have a border color. So our style.css part is also done now. Let me open the screen so you will see the effect. So when we hover on this, it will give you the nice effect and it will stay here when you click on this. So our contact us section is also done now. Only footer part is left and the smooth scrolling effect. Now we need to create our footer. So let's write the footer comment, and after the main tag we will create the footer tag. So let me close the main tag. This is our main tag and this is our header. Now we need to create our footer, so let me some space here. Then first of all we have a footer link, so create a div and give it a class is equal to container text dash center and text dash empty dash left. Then we have grid row, create a div and give it a class is equal to row, padding along y-axis is 5. Then we have the grid column, so create a div and give it a class is equal to col dash md dash 3 and margin along x-axis is auto. So inside this we have the h5 heading and give it a class font width bold, text dash uppercase and margin top 2. Then we have a span tag and give it a class is equal to logo dash color, padding red dash 2, and we have a f font awesome icon fs fa dash paw and the size is fa dash 2x 2 times. So after this create another div and give it a class is equal to row. Then we have a grid column, so created a class col dash md dash 12 and padding along y-axis is 2. And create another div and give it a class equal to margin bottom dash 5 and flex dash center. So our first link is for the font Facebook, so give it font of some icon FABFA dash Facebook. After that we have a Twitter icon, then we have the link for the Instagram, similarly the anchor tag, and inside this we have font of some icon, so FABFA dash Instagram. The size is 2 times, so let me refresh this, so it will look like this now. So let's close this and close this 12 column div. So after this we will create the HR horizontal row, so this inside the row and this is inside the third column div. So 3 6 9 12 we will create 3 more 3 column divs. So this is for the second one. Let me write the class clear fix w dash width is 100 and on medium device it will display none. So this for the second grid column and give it a class called dash md dash 3 and margin along x-axis is auto. Then we have a h5 tag and give it a class is equal to font weight bold logo dash color margin top dash 4 and the text is about. Now we need to add some links here. So after this inside this column we will create the ul tag and give it a class is equal to list dash unstyled padding along axis 3. So this is our first link and this is the second and this is the third. So it will look like this. We will style it later. And now close this, and this is the second grid column. Now we need to create the third grid, and above this we have a horizontal row, so it will display on mobile devices. So let me create the third column, which is grid, give it a class equal to col dash md dash 3 and margin along x-axis is auto. Then we have the h5 heading similarly, which is the quick links. Then we have the unordered list and similarly list island, give it a class is equal to list unstyled and padding along y-axis 3. So this is our first link, then we have second, then we have third. Now we need to create the subscribe form, so let me close this. Now 3, so first third column, second and third. Now we need to create a fourth, which is the last one, and above we have the horizontal row. Then we have third grid column, and give it a class equal col dash md dash 3 and margin long x-axis auto. Then we have h5 tag and give it a class font width for logo dash color margin top dash 4. Then we have some space and we have our subscribe form. So create a form, class equal to text dash center, padding top dash 4, text dash left, and input type is equal to email and id is equal to subs, and give it a class form dash control margin bottom dash 4 and give it a placeholder is equal to email, and give it a required field. And now for the subscribe button, yep, you need to add give it a create a div and give it a class inside the button. Give it a class equal to btn dash md, btn dash primary margin right 4 and btn dash block. Type is equal to submit and id is equal to off, and this is the subscribe button. So almost done. So we need to add the, so let this div end here. So third, 6, 9, 12, and this is inside the row, and this is inside the footer link. Now we need to take copyright. So let's create a div and give it a class is equal to text dash center, padding is along all side is 4, text dash white, and style background font size 20 pixels, so it will look like this. Now copy 2021 copyright and give it an anchor tag, a class is equal to text dash white and href. So this is my YouTube channel link. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribed. So this is our YouTube channel, Web Solutions. So our footer is almost done. Now we need to give it some style so the link looks good. So this is our footer, main and header. So our website is almost done. Now we need to add style this footer so the link will look good. So we add a class foot. Now give it a color, hashtag 1818. Similarly for the hover, give it a color, text expression and cursor pointer and color ed 6436. So style part is also done. So let me close this, and oops, and this is our HTML part. Now we need to add the add smooth scroll effect. So let's copy the smooth scroll effect and paste it here. So let me paste this. So this is our smooth scroll effect. Basically it will redirect to the href, and we give it a id on each section, so it will redirect to this. So that's it, and our website is done now. And let me just show you. So this is our complete website that we have built. Premium food section, then we have activities and exercise section. So we have some nice effects on buttons. Then we have our services section, nice effect on button also as well. Then we have happy section. Then we build the price plan. After that, teach your pet section. Then we have our team section. After that, check-in time. So dogs and cats comparison section. Then we have quote. Then we have a contact us for section. We have a nice effects on form here, and we have a clean footer. So I hope you have learned something new from this project, and I try my best to make this project as easy as possible and deliver you high quality stuff. So it is also responsible on all devices, and you can see the horizontal row on the footer also. So let me just show you the complete picture for website. So this is our complete picture for website. Let me zoom in. This is a home section, pet food. So this is the complete picture of our website that we built, and it is clean and modern, I think. And I hope you like this project and you have learned something new from this project. So this is the complete website that we create. Congratulations. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in my next project.